The kids, are they coming?
Our team?
Yeah.
Well, first there was a general announcement to the team that state, the way ours is set up, they can't sign anything for another week, 8 days or something like that. I forget what it is. And that before they do sign anything, I just made a simple request. Before you get into any agreement, you probably should run it by me or compliance just to make sure that what you are signing is copacetic with what. Last thing we want is to go, hey, coach, I got this great deal. Yeah, great. Now you're ineligible. So that's been the message so far. And then individually a little bit. Some have different issues than others. Some are in a better situation than others. So I think you got to handle all of them individually a little bit different.
Jim, what's it like having Morgan back in the fold? Obviously, he was a big piece of shape.
Morgan? Yeah, Morgan remembers the days when she had to work for every single thing she ever got. Nothing was ever given to her. And, the other people that were on our staff were really, really impactful people on their team, on the court. And I think Morgan brings a different perspective that she came out of high school, great player, really highly recruited by everybody in the country, and then got here and through various, circumstances, her impact on the court wasn't that great, but her impact off the court was immense. And it stayed that way, and that's probably why she was in such demand by coaches all over the country. So she gives them a different perspective than they would get from, say, Shea or JJ or Tanya, guys that had a lot of success on the floor. Her success was all about the process and working at it. And she's a really good teacher. And she's really connected. I don't think there's any school she hasn't coached at. So she's pretty well connected to a lot of people around the country.
What's her responsibility right now? Sorry, I don't know. Like, what do you give her? What task do you give her?
Oh, same thing at Shea. Say, we sit down and say, this is what needs to be done. Go. I mean, she's been around long enough. She knows exactly what's got to be done. It just has to be done at a higher level here. She knows that. She knows that.
So go back to the Olympics real quick. Just the fact, what they've done, and still in the fifth games. What can you say about them? Obviously, know how talented they are.
Well, I hope they win because I think they'll be the first ever 5-time gold medal winners in basketball. So I hope they win. I hope they play great, and I hope they win. And knowing the two of them, they're going to be a big reason why they win. Because if they weren't, they wouldn't even be on the team. That's the way they've always approached things. So the fact that at their age, they can still be that impactful, that says a lot about their love for the game, their passion for the game, their sacrifice for the game, the discipline that they've had to live their lives a certain way that allows them to be this productive at that age. That's a great lesson to a lot of kids.
How do we see the Olympic experience and benefit different players in the past, and what can we hope that take
It changes players, the Olympic experience. It allows you to see all your faults. It allows you to find out that, yeah, you are pretty good. I can do certain things. No, I'm not as good as I thought I was. So it really puts everything in perspective. So when you come back, you know, I did this, this, and this, and it worked against Olympians. I tried to do this, this, and this. It didn't work. So if I want it to work, I got to work on. So it really paints a really good picture for you. And she's such a hard worker anyway. I think this is a great thing for Leah.
How was Dorcas settling in?
Huh?
How was Dorcas settling in?
Great. First, she's bigger than I thought. First time I ever seen a big kid that they undersized her. You know, usually, hey, this kid's 6'3", they show up. I go, what kind of shoes were you wearing? They said this kid was 6'3", 6'4". She's all of 6'5", and she's long and aggressive as hell. So yeah, she's fitting in nicely in a lot of ways. She can shoot the hell out of it, and she's really highly skilled. Just need to calm her down a little bit. She's so excited about, you know, playing and being here. It's just, but I love her personality. I love she brings a old school work ethic.
Amari and Caroline.
Amari is moving, but for every one step forward, there's a little half step backward because she'll get nicked here, nicked there, so it's always fighting through. But she doesn't stop. And another 6'5" kid that is skilled around the basket and shoot the ball, but we got to get her up to speed at playing our pace. And if you were to ask Hootie in the weight room and the conditioning and say, and even the coaches on the floor, who's the most improved player since June 1st? And they would say Caroline Ducharme. She's got a huge chip on her shoulder about a lot of things. And I like that.
Like what?
Like she's pissed.
Are you?
No, she hasn't been around me long enough. Give her time.
Long.
Stop. I've grown. It used to only be 3 weeks. Now I got it up to 5 or 6. I think when Caroline was in high school, she didn't get to go to all these different things because she had a couple injuries. So a lot of these people who tell you how great everybody is, they forgot all about her. So she was like an afterthought to everybody. And then when she came on the scene late, and everybody's like, wow, this kid came out of nowhere. And then coming here, I think she has this sense of, I want to prove to everybody that I'm better than they think I am. Now playing at a, you know, private school, prep school, it's not the same as the guys. You know, like the guys, if you're at a regular high school, you ain't any good. Or if you're at one of those prep schools, you must be really good. The women's just different, just the opposite. So she had that stigma hanging over her. She's going to surprise a lot of people.
What did you see in her
Tough
that
little
others
shit.
didn't?
And Caroline, she reminded me a lot of Carla Berube. Amy Duran. She's got a little bit of those two players. She's not afraid. She works on her game constantly. She's competitive as hell. And they don't know how she does it, but she beats their ass. But they don't know how she does it. They just walk away shaking their head.
Last year when we asked you about the freshmen, the one thing that you consistently said was, I love how competitive they are. As a
Yeah.
group, they're really competitive.
Yeah.
The whole team has taken a step up in competitiveness this year.
Yeah, the whole team. The whole team. So you got to remember last year when we didn't have June. Then when we got here, we couldn't all work out together. So depending on what group you were in, so it was all just a mess, and we didn't have as many bodies to compete against. And this year we have June. We've got enough bodies out there. If you don't compete, you stick out. And so far, I like what I see.
You touched on Easy a little bit, she's kind of quiet to herself.
Yeah.
You enjoy that? Coaching Paige maybe different than Easy?
They're both quiet. Caroline's even quieter than those two. They're just really quiet kids. But there's an air of confidence that they walk around with. Acey just walks around like she's good. So she and Paige have that in common.
Just a little video for fast shot. I mean, she got a shot faster than other kids. It's like Amory used to throw the football.
Yeah. She catches it the same way and shoots it the same way. And because her footwork is always right, it always looks like it's going in. Paige is like, that, and Azzy's two different players.
Paige accomplished so much last year. What do you want to see from her this year? I mean, from the outside, it looked like she did 95% of things right. What would you like to see her do differently this year
I'd like for her to stop waiting for the game to come to her. You hear people talk about she lets the game come to her. I don't like that. While you're waiting for the game to come to you, somebody else is maybe taking it. So I'd like for her to start games with a little more of a assertiveness. And I like for her to not pass up so many open shots. Even though I know that's a losing battle. Because she's always going to pass up open shots if somebody else is open. So it's an ongoing process.
How's her ankle?
Well, she's been out of the boot. She's been off crutches. She's doing all her rehab. Today she did something in the pool. I don't even know what it's called, where she was actually jogging or something. And according to her, just take that with a grain of salt. When we get back to school, she'll be August 30th. She'll be 100%.
Can she shoot now?
Huh?
Can she shoot? Go in the gym and just...
Yeah. She'll just go in there. Her and a couple other guys. They just go in there and just shoot. Somebody rebound for her and just stand there and shoot. She just wants to play so bad, but going by pretty fast.
Does it make you nervous when she's out on the court because she wants to play so bad?
No.
She's smart enough not to.
She's not smart enough to not do that. But no, I'm always checking with Janelle. I'm always checking with our athletic trainer and go. And she'll go, Now it's another argument. Why you're not allowed to do this? Why? Where's your crutches? They're right over there. You're supposed to have your crutches. How long? You know, when I'm not here, I have my crutches all the time. I said, that's great. You're here 10 hours a day. So when the hell do you have them on? It's just... Good thing she's that good. Huh?
The way the season ended last year, you said you were disappointed in the team's immaturity. And
yeah.
Have you seen steps towards maturity, like top to bottom?
It's hard to say until we're in those situations, you know. But yeah, I can see it. I can see it. There's a distinct difference. I can't put my finger on it, but it's different. It's different.
Older players, younger players, both?
Oh, both. Yeah. We'll know more once we start practice for real. But what used to drive me crazy last year was when we were good, we were great. And when we were bad, we were awful. You can't live like that. I don't mind when we're good, we're great. But when we're bad, we got to be really good. We got to be good. So that's a sign of growing up. So we'll see. We'll see. But so far, I like it. I like what I see.
Where's the rest of the team health-wise? You mentioned before that Piath was out for.
Yeah, Piath is. She's just starting to do some individual work, but we got to take it slow. But she's come back with a different mindset, you know. Mears has some tendonitis that she's had forever, so she's got to go at some pace. Sailor, she had the hip surgery, and then her back was acting up a little bit, so there's a couple players that are dealing with nagging stuff that this is the time to get it all squared away, get it all fixed.
Is that recent for Sailor, or is that
pretty much in the springtime? Springtime. No, the surgery was last year while she was in school. Yeah, and it just aggravated it over and it got into her back.
Touched on Aubrey before, Geno.
And Aubrey, Aubrey's Aubrey. When she's good, she's great.
You see, like, her harnessing it a little bit more a couple of years in, or
a little more. Trying a new tactic with her.
What's that?
If you don't shoot it, you're coming out. As opposed to last year, if you shoot that, you'll never play again. Because she didn't believe in it. So it was like, should I not? Okay, I'll throw it up there. So now we're working on it every day. When you catch it and you don't shoot this shot, you're coming out. Not if it goes, not if you miss it. If you don't shoot it, you're coming out. And that's giving her a little bit of.
So you see,
my job is just to shoot it. We'll get to making it later. It's like when you play Little League Baseball, when I was 12 and then 13, 14, and your coach would go, listen, throw the ball as hard as you can. I don't care where it goes. Then after we get you throwing really hard, then we'll work on location. So with her, just shoot it. We'll work on it going in at a later date. And she makes a bunch. She makes a bunch.